Hello. 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 How many people we have in here? Just two. We are starting on time today. We're giving them 1 minute. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, we're going to start this live. So let's just, while waiting
What
for
you
people
think,
to join,
everyone? I think
let
you're
me, I'm
everyone.
echoing.
No, okay, maybe.
I'm echoing. So
I'm trying.
guys, what are you trying to do right now?
I'm trying to share it on Instagram. My Instagram is telling me can't be refreshed. I've been trying to load like the link on Instagram. Something went wrong. Please try again. Hmm. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi.
Mm, oh, what a day, man. I've been up. After this, I'm taking a nice nap.
Why is Instagram playing like we don't? Maybe my reel just shut down Instagram or something.
You just posted a reel.
Yeah, like an hour or so ago. Because I don't understand why it's telling me couldn't refresh feed, can't no internet connection. But yeah, hi everyone. Let us know where you're watching from. We are live. We went live last Monday. Last Sunday was Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, belated Mother's Day to all the mothers. And just things came up, so we decided to push it to Monday. But we know that you all like Sunday better. Like we get a better audience whenever we go live on a Sunday versus a Monday, which makes sense. So we just wanted to just get on here and catch up with you all. Feels like it's been a while since we've done like a live, like talking about like our experiences in Houston. I'm in Houston, I'm Texas for y'all that don't know, and Nana is in Charlotte, North Carolina. I do have some videos up. I just made a little over a year. In February, made a year. So I've been here for about a year. I moved to a new apartment. If you want to see all of that, just make sure you go to our channel and watch the Houston, Texas playlists. I have a lot of recent videos about my experience looking for an apartment and how I got to where I am now. But yeah, so we just wanted to just have a live where you guys can answer your question and ask questions, just catch up because we feel like it has been a while since we really just sat down and had a lot
January. Or that
of
wasn't like a topic one that we just like talked.
just talking, not like a specific topic. Um, yeah.
Yes, I just got in like literally 5 minutes ago. Like today was such a good day. I woke up like 8, 7. I had to do some stuff for work. Then I went to church. Jerry Flowers came through. I really found the church I really like, guys. So if you guys are in Charlotte, like I think you guys definitely check out the Union Charlotte. And I met for the audience follow me. Y'all know that's one thing that was very hard for me adjusting to in Charlotte, finding a good church, especially because I moved during the pandemic. So I got used to not going to church and then coming here, the churches that here I just wasn't really vibing with. There's a lot of mega churches and it's just the way I don't know. It's hard. Like I couldn't really find an African church I really connected with, and then the big mega church here is Elevation, which is cool. But the fact that like you go to the other smaller ones, there's no real pastor preaching. You go to watch a screen. I still think that's very odd. And then when you go to the main Valentine campus, he only preaches at 9:30. So if you don't get there by 9:30, and sometimes you go there by 9:30, you won't get in because it's just so chaotic. And then
Them lines are no joke. Like if you're late, we already not that time. Today I'm proud of us. But if you're not a timely, you're not willing to wake up an extra 30 minutes to make sure church is at 10 and you're there at 9:30, it's a waste of time.
and then 11:30 service he doesn't preach, so you go there to watch the screen as well. So
Right.
it was just too much. Like and like I couldn't find an African church or Bible down here. So another girl, actually Nigerian American as well, was telling me her experiences, same thing, and she was like, "You should check out the Union." I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." I checked it out. I've been there like 3 4 times now, and I just really 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 like it. I'm really really excited that I finally feel like I found somewhere that I really connect with and I mesh, because church is an important part of my personal life, my spiritual life. And down here, there's a lot of options, but I just wasn't finding something that fit what I wanted. So I'm very happy. Today's sermon was really, really good. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna stick with that for now. Got a new job like last month. I feel like people probably like, they don't always have a new job.
They stop keeping up. They know who they doing.
Like it's crazy. Like I got a new job. That's cool. What
Yeah.
else is new in Charlotte? I was in the streets earlier. Like I literally left church, went to my friend's house, or my church friend's house, rushed home to eat lunch. From lunch, rushed. I was at Stats with my friend and her friend. Then literally left there at 6:30 to get here by 7 to join this live. So y'all like this, press the like button because this is dedication. I could have been jumping around. Like the sun is still out. Y'all see the sun, the way it's beaming. I don't have any any machinery up right now. And like this lighting is amazing. So I was like, no, I have to get home for the live. Let us know if this time works well because we know NBA playoffs are going on right now and the games are at 8:30 Eastern Central Time. So we're like, we don't want to be going live while the game is on, but at the same time, we can't wait till the game's over because that means we're going live at 11 p.m. And that's way too late. That doesn't make sense. So to me, this time is kind of early, but I like it because we'll finish like at 8-ish. And then, if I want to go out after, then, like it's not at a weird time that I'll be leaving my house too late. So I actually like this time, but let us know if this time works for y'all. We're going to be doing the live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. So that's my personal update on my Charlotte life. And Ngozi, how about you? How's Houston doing?
You all know January, I came back from Nigeria and had to find an apartment in 1 month. I was looking like, September, October, I got discouraged with the market and wasn't being realistic with my budget. And then I took a break.
Sorry to interrupt. Did you post it on Instagram so I can repost?
No, it's not letting my Instagram's not work. It's not literally no connect. It's not working. I've been trying to post it, so you can post it and tag me and see if I can repost it.
I'm just gonna like put a boomerang and put the link.
Yeah. So so that was January. I found somewhere, thank goodness. Then February I was moving, March getting my apartment together. April was traveling and a lot of other stuff was going on. Then May, I feel like I'm finally getting back to, into the rhythm. Last week was it's been a lot going on. Summer is coming, you getting that itch to like always go out and
not itch is the spirit of quit your job. That's spirit.
Nah, because you got bills to pay, but you just got that. I was like, I'm very weather dependent. So like when Houston does rain a lot, I won't even lie. And I didn't realize that until I watched this one YouTuber and she talked about reasons why she left Houston. And one of them was like the weather is always cloudy and raining. And I'm like, yo, that's kind of true. Like last 2 weeks was like rain every day. Like it was crazy. I'm like, what is going on? Why is it raining every day? So it does rain a lot, but I feel like now we're getting past that. This week was really nice. Today is like in the 70s, 80s, like cooled down a little. It was cloudy, but it's no rain. And a lot of times the weather will say rain, but it doesn't rain.
Same thing with Charlotte. This rain never falls.
All the times, like 30%. One time my friend canceled a whole birthday dinner on Saturday because it said like 80% rain, and it did not rain that whole Saturday. It didn't even rain, so it just really depends. Hi, automatic. Uzar said the flooding is crazy too. Yes, especially in that like West Chase area, like on the highways. Let me tell you how the devil is always awake trying to stop the children of God. So the last April, I was like away and stuff like that, and I was streaming church. So May, I was like, I have to start going back to church. Because the thing about when you start streaming church, that's very easy to get comfortable. And the convenience of watching church at home. And I like going into church. I work from home. I like having that going out community, seeing people, dressing up. Like I actually enjoy like looking forward to, okay, Sunday, I'm going to church. So the first Sunday was May 7th. Thunderstorms, rain. Like when I tell you how bad the rain was, if it was a normal Sunday, I would have been like, this wasn't even safe. Like you could barely drive on the highway. Water was everywhere. My church is like in the southwest area of Houston. So like I was driving and I didn't see a puddle. It just splashed all in front of my car. Like it was so bad. The next Sunday, same thing. I'm just like, yo, the devil doesn't sleep. But like, I was like, I'm not giving myself any excuses. I have to go to church, rain, hell, brimstone, snow, whatever it is. Huh?
What's you said brimstone? What's that?
It's like it's in the Bible. It's like some like a weather condition. Mm-hmm. So I was like, So I went last Sunday. It was crazy.
It's me do. It's saying please enter valid URL.
Yeah, same with me. That's what it was telling me. So and then today was decent. Like it was good. No rain. It was just a little cloudy. It wasn't as hot, but it was good weather. So I understand why people get, stuck on that online, but it's nothing like being in his presence. His house is not the same. Like you can't compare it. So, nowhere is perfect. For those looking for a home church, you just got to find somewhere that resonates with you and make it work,
Like even like the church, I'm talking about the Union Church. I'm not going to lie. Like I would prefer an African church because I really like African praise and worship. Right? Like that's something that I really listen to a lot. I really, really like I just felt like when you go to American church, everything is too mellow. Everything is too kind of sad. Like the music is kind of like a mourning, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to always hear worship. Like I like a lot of praise. And I noticed that American churches, they do a lot of worship. There's not a lot of praise, but it's like, I have to get over that. right? Like I can't get, it's like dating, you know, you can't get everything you want. Like you have to figure out what's the most important. So like the fact that I really like the preaching, I like the vibe, like I'm able to overcome the fact that I don't get the praise. You know, I don't get the tambourines and the drums and the you know.
Sometimes that praise can get to a whole nother level you don't even want. So everything is a balancing act. So trust me, I had my church shopping last year, and at a point I was just like, nah, I can't be jumping up and down. I just pick one place, become a member, keep it moving. If I want to visit other churches, that's fine. But you know, that was cool. But let us know where you guys are watching from. Automatic Uzo, I think you're in Houston, right? Or you're in Texas. Let me know where anyone in Charlotte in. I know
Charlotte's in the building. Shout out. So okay, let me update our Charlotte experience. I just really feel like even the people that know me, like I always say, Charlotte, I don't think it's the best city in the US. I'm not saying that. But what I can say this year, what I've done, when I've gone out of my way, I've kind of curated the life I want. And I think that's something that people really need to take into consideration wherever they go. No matter where you go, if you just sitting, I keep saying it, and I'm going to sound like a broken record. If you sit in your apartment with this and talking to the same people, do the same stuff in rotation, you're going to have a terrible experience. Or you're going to think your city is the problem. When sometimes it's not the problem is you. You're boring. You're not going out your way. You're not trying new things. Anywhere you go, eventually it's going to get a little redundant. It's going to get a little tired, especially if you go out a lot. And even if you go out a lot, there's so many places you still haven't been to, right? There's no way you've been to everywhere in the city that you live. So this year I tried new things like the church, start going to Mad Miles, and like just different things that I've been in Charlotte almost 3 years. I've never been to Mad Miles events. I've never like, you know, like how does that even make sense? Like, you know, and I just realized like, wow, there's still so much more things that I need to do. Still haven't made it to the beach yet. Crazy. About to be in Charlotte 3 years. I have not been to a beach in the Carolinas.
Beach Town. Hi, Edwin. Long time. Thanks for joining. Happy you can make it. But yeah, you were talking about not going to the beach.
I haven't been. That's like on my list.
Is the beach in Charlotte or is it in the city by Charlotte?
3.5 hours.
Yeah, same thing with me. Galveston is like a popular like beach outside of Houston, but I've heard like it's a little dirty. But I wanted to go experience it.
I want to go to Charleston. I want to go to Asheville. I want to go to Outer Banks. Like I'm gonna make a list.
I want to go to Austin. I want to go to San Antonio. I want to go.
Like it's crazy. The things I still want to do. I'm just like I've been here 3 years, and mind you, people feel like I'm always, and I just feel like I haven't even started. I don't even do anything. Like, what am I doing? Going to Crave? Like, what am I doing? Like, I feel like there's still so many things that like right by me I've not touched, I've not explored. Like Atlanta, I've been there. I'm done with Atlanta. I don't need to go to Atlanta. I've been there enough times. I want to do different things. Do y'all swim in those lakes near Charlotte? So I have an article actually I can put in the chat that I found, and there's like man-made, there's like lakes and like man-made stuff that's like 30 something minutes, because I was trying to just start off going to those. So I'm like, okay, at least let me be around the water. But those don't open up until Memorial Day weekend, which would be this weekend. And like there are lakes that are like 40 minutes from me, 30 minutes. There's Lake Wiley, there's one around Lake Norman. Like I have a list. I can actually put it in the chat. And she said Galveston is very.
I'm scared, you know, because I'm from Jersey. We have many beaches to choose from. I'll be honest. If I was really a beachy person, I probably wouldn't even have considered Houston, because you're not coming to the South looking for beaches. Right. Like it's not a thing here. But I used to go at least once in the summer. I'd be like, okay, I have to make it to the beach, because I was in Jersey. We're known for having a lot of we have a lot of beaches, but people talk about Galveston is dirty. I'm like, I don't want to go drive there and do all that to go and sit and see something that's dirty. But you know, it's experience, right? Mm-hmm. Even if I go there one night and come back, like it is what it is.
Right. I heard that about Myrtle Beach too. That is a bit rough. So I just put the link, Edwin, about the beach. I don't know if you're in Charlotte, but this is the article I read, and it has some that are like closer. So I might start off with those, because 3.5 hours is just a lot. Like that means I have to sleep over, get a hotel. Like I can't realistically do that in one day. I'm not going to drive 3.5 hours and, you know, going down the shore, the thing to do in Jersey. Yeah, like Jersey, I took it for granted. I'm not even going to lie. You could be in the beach in 1 hour. Like easy to go there and come back in one day. But now it's like 3.5 hours. I'm not driving 3.5 hours and going back in the same day. That's just too much driving.
Yep.
So yeah, I have to plan it. Then, like, you know, I'm a bit extra. Like, I don't want to miss church. I want to be back by Sunday. I want to be rested for work on Monday. Like, so I would want to go like Friday night, but now I work until 11 on Friday. So that's not realistic. It has to be Saturday to Sunday. And then it's like, am I going to go wait around for people? Okay. All right. You think about moving. Yeah. Am I going to wait around for people? I can do about, and I do want to do like a solo trip this year, even if it's maybe the beach, something very simple. Like I feel like I want to get away by myself. Asheville, I really want to go see the mountains. Outer Banks has been on my list. Like I'm just like, yo, I know people that come from New York, different places to go to Outer Banks. I'm like, I'm a 6 hour drive.
Is there a show about Outer Banks?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. There's a show that I guess is in the Outer Banks. I'm not sure. I'm like, that's a 6 hour drive. Why haven't I been to the Outer Banks? So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Like, and I actually like water. I like the beach. So it's just weird that I haven't been to any of these things. But
This is effort. You got to plan it. It's not going to just happen, you know?
right. So that's my Charlotte spiel. I think that the longer I stay here, I just realize I have to do different things and get out of my comfort zone to get the experience I really, really want. And even like, sometimes you get comfortable going to the same place because you know the vibe you're gonna get. But I'm like, yeah, 6 hour drive to the Bay. I'm like, yo, like I need to try different places because 6 hour drive to the Bang Sheesh, yeah, it's pretty far. So that has to be like a 2 night trip for it to even make sense. So the thing about me is that I live basically uptown, border of anyone's familiar Charlotte, uptown and South End. But I do a lot of uptown, but South End I haven't really explored that much stuff. For like 1501 is in South End, Cloud, a few places I've been to South End, but South End is very like I just finished college vibe. Me and my friends were just talking about this before I got here. Like South End is very young. So I feel like that's the reason why I don't really care for like the spots, unless it's like the black owned spots. The spots that are not black owned are very young. So I'm like, what am I doing places with like college kids? Like, but there's so many new, everything new opens up in South End. Literally everything new. I know there's RSVP there. I want to try that out. We drove by one day. It was kind of empty. I guess it was too early in the day. There's Lost and Found. I haven't been there since last April. Like, there's so many spots in South End, but I just feel like the crowd is a bit young for me. But I'm like, okay, I've never been to Slate's. How have I not been to Slate? So I'm just like, there's so much to do. It's about just trying new things.
Yep, for sure. And I see, I missed this one, Automatic Uzo. You said, I'm a native living out of state, but I'm moving to Houston next month. These prices are crazy. And I see you're a native of Houston, I'm assuming. And if you don't mind what state you're living in. But yeah, I've heard rent was crazy when I was looking, but I've heard this year rents are stabilizing or even decreasing. I listened to a lot of podcasts. A lot of people projected, people who are started building during COVID or before COVID, they projected more people moving and they projected more than what the population is showing in terms of housing needs. So I've heard that rent prices are going to stabilize or even partially decrease. And this is the first time in a long time, minus like that COVID period when like the prices were like unreal. But I've heard things are going to go down a little. So those thinking of moving to Houston or maybe Charlotte, maybe trying to wait it out this year, maybe after summer preferably, and seeing how the market goes. But there's a lot of data out there suggesting that rent prices are going to go down, potentially are going to go down. As we think about the market supply and demand, right? So it's like if you have Charlotte, I haven't been in almost a year, and they don't get at me. I'm coming this summer, and Charlotte, what I can say is that everywhere you go is apartment buildings. It's like you're walking every few blocks. It's like some big apartment building in development, and it's like people are coming to Charlotte, but are that many people coming to Charlotte? Like where are these people living? So I totally understand why rent is going down and can potentially be going down in major cities because there's a lot of building, and it's like who's about to live in all these places.
Houston native, currently living in Minnesota, finishing residency. I hope they do decrease soon. Nice. Minnesota, how's that? I heard they have a large African population.
Yeah, I have a friend, a church. She moved from Minnesota, I think November.
Okay, because it's for you, Perfume 101. How was the dating life in Houston, especially with Nigeria? That's because there's tons of Nigerians.
Talking this live will be too long, so let me just give a synopsis. I was actually just talking to my cousin about that. I feel like there's positives and negatives, right? Positives in the sense that, okay, if you're someone who wants to date a Nigerian, there's a lot to choose from. But at the same time, you have to be very careful because the Nigerian community is big, but it's small. It's small. Even if you start going through,
you're new there, you're kind of naive. You don't know what's up.
Right. The people who are outside, they all know each other. Some way, somehow. The people who are out, they're out. So it's like you just have to be vigilant. We talk about meeting in 2023. You meet someone, you got to Google them. You got to get background information. You got to do your research. You don't just meet someone and take everything they tell you for face value. Go on Facebook, see if you can find them. Go on social media, see if you can find them. You may end up seeing their profile pic with their wife and kids. So it's like you just need to really, really be careful because I won't even lie. I'm not going to put my fellow people and my fellow men under the bus. But some Nigerian men here move very mad. They move very mad. Like, it's like they kind of still have that Nigerian mentality, but they're in America. And when I say Nigerian mentality,
I can do what I want.
Yeah, when I say that Nigerian mentality, for those maybe who are not Nigerian or watching, it's kind of like I could be married and stuff, but I'm still going to do what I want. But the difference in America is that I feel like men have to hide more they have to hide that stuff. Because on average, an American woman is not going to date a married man. On average, do women do it? Yes.
Of course.
Women date them all the time. But on average, an American woman is not going to date a man she knows is married. So I feel like they have to do a lot to keep up this lifestyle, but they do it. Trust me, the ones who want to do it do it. That being said, all men are not like that. All Nigerian men are not like that. So I don't want to stereotype, but what I would say is that if you're looking for a Nigerian man, meaning I have this conversation all the time, of course, Houston is one of the better places to be living in because they are there. They are here heavy. You know what I mean? If you that's what you like, you have more options here. But not to say more doesn't always equal better, right?
Exactly.
Quality versus quantity, right? So with that being said, like I would just say be careful. Just be careful, do your due diligence. But I wouldn't tell people like, oh no, like yeah, they here for sure. And I think
with your experiences, you won't tell people not to go to Houston.
No.
Okay, that makes sense.
Here, like I said, you just have to be vigilant.
Edwin says, "I go where the job goes." That makes sense. Hey, ladies, Nana is Priya. The boy changed my YouTube name. Hi, Priya. Florida. A lot of people move into Florida. I hear Florida. I have a friend. I'm so mixy. I made a friend through one of my remote jobs. I never met her in person, and she was saying that literally Floridians are being pushed out because prices have gotten so expensive that like people there with the salaries they're making, they can't afford their rent anymore.
No, I didn't know Florida was that expensive. Because when you think of Florida, you think of people retiring, but they go to certain parts to retire. Like not Orlando, but like areas around there versus Miami, Tampa. I didn't know Florida was that expensive.
Priya, tell us about Florida. What area are you in? You're like in an MCO area, right? Aren't you in Orlando area? I know Miami's super expensive, one of the most expensive places to live. But I never thought I know Texas.
What? She said Florida is more expensive than NYC. Stop it.
What is the point of people going there? Because the taxes and the heat, I guess.
What I say is that people go to specific parts. Like, retirees are known to go to Florida, but they go to like the far place. They're not going to the lit parts where people are going to. Like maybe Kissimmee or what's some other, I can't remember the one town.
Deep in Florida.
Yeah, like they're going to the more rural, more remote areas. But wow, Florida is more expensive than NYC. I have to.
No, I'm coming. She said I'm in Orlando. I don't know if you're busy like you used to be. I know you used to be all over the place, but I'm really coming to. I I need a something. I need to be.
I've never been to Miami. I want to go to Miami.
I've been there 3 times. And next week, my friends are going for Afro Nation. They're like, "Oh, Nene, you're not coming." Like, nah, I think that's too rowdy for me.
Tell you where I need to go this year: Miami, Mexico. Now that I'm in Texas,
specifically, you never been to Mexico?
No, I go to all these other places with the places that are right there. And you know how human beings are. We don't like
a minute. What's in your face? You're looking for something far away.
I used to look at Mexico like, I don't know, like kind of like cheap and like everyone goes there. But now that I'm older, you have Puerto Vallarta, you have Cancun, you have Cabo, you have Tulum. Like there's so many parts, all straight flights.
Edwin said Kissimmee is getting up there too. Wendy said South Florida is very expensive. A 1-bedroom luxury apartment is going to run you on average $2,200. What?
It's South Florida by Miami. I think
why are people going there? Is it because of the taxes and the weather? Because $2,200.
Florida don't have state income tax like Texas. And maybe they want to be by the beach. Like I told you, one thing, if you're someone who's a water lover, you like the beach, you don't come to Texas, especially don't come to Houston because we don't have that geography. But Florida is known for the weather and the beaches, the water.
The beach. We have become so popular now. 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. I guess everyone is saying, you saying you moved there in less than 10 years. So you contributed to the overpopulation. Edwin said, Orlando, cool though. Love it here. Top pinnacle. I have a few questions to ask, and I guess I'm not going to be hated or called names for having a different opinion without disrespecting. Are you guys like that? I'm not sure I get what you mean. Don't sleep on Mexico City. Okay. Nurses in Central City. Nurses in Central Florida are making $20 to $45 an hour. How can you $20 an hour with rent of 20? Well, you said Central South Florida. So how much, Priya, would you say, like, how expensive is life in Central Florida? And what is considered Central Florida? Because I'm really not good at. Is that Orlando? We had a lot of new residents from New York, New Jersey, and California. I can see that. Yes, South Florida is West Palm Beach, Florida, Miami.
I always say South Florida, and I'm like, I've never looked into check what West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. That's good to know. Yeah, so it makes sense because, like I said, I always assumed Miami was affordable until like recent years. And I started hearing people talk about pricing, like what, Miami, Florida. So that's what to say. Like people have this idea. We talk about this in our videos. You're just gonna go to the south and everything is cheap.
It
For the
depends
most
on
part,
life you
it's
live in
cheaper
this.
in the north, yes, but depending on where you are going, even within this Houston, you can get one bedroom for 2,000 easily, effortlessly. Even for the most part, things that are nice and newer are closer to that price. If we're going to be honest,
Is
so
Houston more expensive than Charlotte?
no, it's slightly cheaper than Charlotte. No, when we checked Rent Cafe, it was slightly cheaper and you got slightly more space.
Yeah, I remember that.
Slightly. But like I said, Houston is so big. So I'm
And
not
even,
gonna,
yeah.
the average apartment definitely is not no 2,000. No.
Central Florida is Orlando area. Rent is ranged from 1,900 to 25. Are you talking for a one bedroom, 1,900 to 2,500? One bedroom. Are we talking about? That's crazy. I'm staying in Charlotte because my rent obviously is reasonable, and my apartment is reasonable. My nurses said they're living paycheck to paycheck. I can believe that. 20. You said $20. What is $20 when your rent is 2,000?
2,000 something. Make sure you all like this video. Also, we're having a great conversation, but make sure you guys like this video.
It used to be cheap in Houston for forever. The rent thing just blew up overnight. It seems.
Yes, it seems like even the year I moved, things were reasonable. But this end of last year, everything just exponentially changed.
I have a question, y'all. What is considered cheap? What do you think is reasonable for a one bedroom luxury apartment?
Considered
Let's be
cheap
real.
or reasonable?
Cheap and then reasonable. Because let's be real, most young people
Below
want to live in luxury.
I think any cheap is anything below 1,000 for one bedroom. Anything decent
Yeah.
below 1,000, I think that's cheap. Like you're paying cheap rent.
Right.
Reasonable, I would say, is like anywhere like
Up to
1,500 ish,
Right.
max 1,500, like 14, 13, 12. I think
Right.
that's reasonable. Then when you start going over 1,500 for one bedroom, I think that's on the price
Yeah,
here.
I don't want to pay more than 1,500 for one
I think
bedroom.
that's on the price
I
here.
refuse. I rebuke it. He
And
said 20 reasonable is 1,300, right?
yeah, I think that's reasonable. Like, yeah, like that 12, 13, 14. I think that's reasonable. That's very reasonable for a nice, and like we said, everything depends on how updated it is, how new it is, the amenities, you know what I mean? Like how it looks. But just even something average, 12, 1,300 is reasonable. For one bedroom, maybe 700 square feet. I think that's reasonable.
$20 not gonna cut in Orlando. Yes, girl. I kid you not. If you move to Florida and you want to live a luxurious life, you have to come here with money if you don't have a good job, or you will have to be mortgage free. So that makes sense why the retirees go there because they don't have mortgage, most of them.
Mhm.
Wendy said cheap would be 1,200, reasonable would be 1,500.
In this market now, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
1,000, they're still there though, Wendy. Let's not mistake it, but most likely it's going to be in an area that's
That you don't want to live in.
right. But I won't say there's still apartments even in Houston are 8 something. Go to Southwest, there's apartments still 9 something, 8 something. People who just come, immigrant people who are trying to make ends meet. You got to start from somewhere. We also
Everyone has a different standard of living they want to
exactly. You're not looking for maybe a washer and dryer in Union. You're not looking for updated kitchen. You're not looking for a gym.
To be fair, my apartment, I mean, y'all can see a little in the background. It's luxury, but it's low end luxury, right? Like luxury even has levels. I have top loading washing machines. That's crazy. Any real luxurious apartment nowadays, front loading. My closet space is a joker. It's a joke. I don't even have a coat closet. I literally have a mini walk-in closet, and that's it. And because I'm a minimalist, it works for me. But many women wouldn't be able to live in.
They'd be like, "Oh hell no!"
They'd be like, "Nah, I'm good." So like, I'm managing a lot of things because my zip code is great, because my location is great. I'm able, it's like dating. Like we keep referencing, you're not going to get everything. It's about what's most. But my next apartment, I'm going to want so much more. So it's hard. It's like, am I ready to pay more? Because I still want to pay around what I'm paying. I just hope that things drop, so I'm able to get more for around the same that I'm paying. Because I don't want to live far away. I don't want to live in the outskirts. I don't want to live in the burbs with dogs and families. I left Jersey because I didn't like living there. I really love my location. It's just so convenient. I get to anywhere so easily. Church is even out the way for me because I'm driving a car.
For me too. Church is out.
Well, now I'm driving 25 minutes highway to church. That's the farthest I drive in Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't drive anywhere more than 25 minutes. That's the farthest, and I'm doing that for God. Okay. So besides that, it's like when it's time to go out, everything I can walk to places I want to go out to. So to me, that's so important because I'm young. I'm not married yet. Like I want to be where things are happening. I don't want to feel isolated in the suburbs.
And you pay for that.
And I'm paying for it. And I'm sacrificing the closet space. I'm sacrificing my washer and dryer. I'm sacrificing other things I'm not crazy about because I want to live in a central area. Um, it was automatic. It was, I just went apartment shopping this weekend to find something decently close to the med center, and it's ugly out there. For me now,
Yeah, I'm close to them.
1,500 would be more reasonable.
Yeah, I'm close to them. I'm in the museum district, so I'm close to the medical center, and it's because it's a high volume area.
Mhm.
Everything is there. You know, you have the campuses, you have all these restaurants, shops. You almost get like a small New York vibe there.
Look,
There's
Priya just made a point. Priya said reasonable rent is 1,500 for one bedroom with good amenities. But you have to think about the quality of the neighborhood. You get what you pay for exactly. You want to pay less and then be scared to enter your apartment at night? What is
right.
the point? You get what I'm saying? So it's just hard to strike that balance because you may not need to be in the most ritzy neighborhood. You may not need to be in the best neighborhood, but at the same time, like you want to be comfortable. She said, I like closets that look like a bed. I should show you my closet. I really don't care. I really will go and show you my closet because and it's the only closet my apartment has. Only closet my apartment has. It's a joke. It's really, really a joke. Houston crime is up, so you need the security measures in your complex. Exactly. Controlled parking, controlled access, not just a sliding gate. Too many tires and cars stolen. I don't hear about this stolen
The
car.
tires thing is crazy. Like I have a fear of just going to my garage and seeing my car on the cinder block. Where my unit. Let me tell you, even last week I was in my unit. Sometimes the garage has like issues going up and down. I even smashed the front of my car. It's a long story. My license plate came off because I was, you can't get too close to it. It's gonna take off. It took off the front of my license plate. I've been going through this with my car. So I was there like it was a couple of days ago. I see people like trying to manually open the garage and have like hoodies on, and it just looked very suspect to me. So automatically, you know me, I'm like that. The what would they call it? The white neighbor that people don't like. The nosy. I call my apartment. That's excuse me. I see people manually trying to open the garage. They have hoodies on. They just look a little suspect to me. Could you just check it out? That's it. Because the reality is that I know what I'm paying for rent.
Mhm.
When I see my back door open, sometimes, like I said, all this automatic automation, it has its own issues. So
Right. Yeah, I want a gate man.
I've come into my apartment complex and seen the back. There's two entrances. The back door just wide open, like for 1 minute straight. It's not gonna close. I have to call my unit. Excuse me, the back thing, because that's my security.
Right.
That's my car that's parked there. Those are my.
Can I show you my closet real quick? Let me
Go
start.
ahead.
Will y'all be able to? I'll have to turn around. How do I turn around this camera? Am I able to?
You just have to just turn because you're using a lot, so you're gonna have to just turn your computer over and just pray that we can see.
Okay, so y'all. So this is me walking into my closet,
Mhm.
and this is my closet. I wish I could turn it. It has to be a way I could turn it around. Like, come on.
You have to turn around and hold it, like hold the laptop like front.
Oh, you're so smart. That's why you're a pharmacist.
You have to hold it, yeah. So like walk and okay, we see the shoes. You go push it down, pull it, go down now, so you can see
Pull it up or down.
down, so we can see like the shoe. Keep going down, so we see that dresser. Okay, now turn to the left a little. Let's see the whole. I'm gonna show y'all my closet because my closet
This
is.
is my whole closet, y'all. This is my closet. It's like I still come back in. Literally a joke. This is my closet.
Okay, let me go. I'm gonna walk over. Continue talking.
The only closet I have in my apartment.
That's crazy.
The only closet I have.
Yeah, they got to do better with that closet. But I mean,
Yeah. So I just want to show y'all that because I'm just like, yeah, like I'm definitely sacrificing on some things I would want. But the reality is that because I love my neighborhood so much and I like my proximity, I'm willing to give up on that. And not everyone can do that because some people just have a lot of stuff. Like for me, and I like even having a small closet. My issues, I need one more. I want like a coat closet. I like having a small closet because it helps my minimalism. I'm a minimalist, so it helps me get like I'm like, no, you're not wearing this, get rid of it. You're not wearing this, get rid of it. You're not wearing this, get rid of it. Like it helps me contain it. Wendy asks, what are the best areas in Houston to avoid car theft and crazy crime rates? And goes, do you have an answer for that?
probably downtown, closer to downtown. Even it's hard because honestly, I can't. It happens. Even the River Oaks is most expensive. I looked at an apartment there when I was shopping. They said we can't guarantee. If you look at that video, I'm gonna link it later. They said we can't guarantee no car theft. It happens, and this is an apartment in the most expensive zip code in Houston. So at the same time, you can't say like, oh, because it's this area or is that area. Like, no, it's happening almost
If anything makes more sense, why would not go to the rich area to steal?
exactly.
That's where people have money. It makes perfect sense that's where Edwin said turned into a Karen, LOL, but damn right I would too. This is just safe. Like today I went to go visit my friend after church. Her apartment gate is open. The door into her apartment is open. I told her, like, this is crazy. If it was me, I would say something like, why is this always open when I come here? Your gate should not be open. I don't live here. I don't live here. Why am I able to get to your apartment with with no barriers?
Intentions, but everyone else isn't.
What?
I say you're going to visit her with good intentions, but someone may not be.
Her gate was open and the door into her complex was open. Okay, Priya said, wow, they don't show that on the news. Florida's that way too. In my opinion, the things in NYC and NJ that would hit the news within minutes take hours or days to hit the news in Florida. Interesting.
Yep.
She's automatically to say, I don't blame you. I'm not negotiating on the safety of the apartment. That's number one. But I'd rather take the small closet. I'd rather take the top loading washing machine. There's so many things in my apartment. Even let me show you my door, y'all.
Let me show you guys my closet first, because I gotta. Sorry, Gannett, I don't want to embarrass you, but I gotta show my closet. This is me walking in, and I'm also like a fake minimalist too. So let me turn this around and tell me if you can see. Can you see?
Yeah. Okay, Ferragamo bags. Okay.
Well, I had to clean up real quick. That's all I was on, but don't judge me, y'all. Like,
I didn't have to clean up because when you're clean, when you're just a neat person, you can do anything whenever you want.
Off the handle. Be quiet. So this is this.
So yeah, your closet is big. I wish I had that closet.
So, and look, I don't even have the clothes to fill the closet. Look at stuff that this whole thing is empty. I barely have. My cousin comes in. She's like, "Where's your clothes?" I'm like, "Hey." They're like, "Hey," I'm like, "It's here. It's here." But
automatically was said about my closet. The closet actually looks really nice. So thank you. Priya said that Nana, that looks nice. Thank you. It's nice, but it's just small. Hey, listen, that closet amazing. Okay, Edwin, y'all give me that confidence. Maybe I'm staying in this apartment another year. Wendy said that's a nice closet, so organized. Thank you, Wendy. Priya said it's just situated differently for some of them in Florida. I have walk-in, but it's the same size as yours, just horizontally situated. Really? Miss Mermaid said, "Hello, exactly. People rob a lot of areas of gentrification."
Yep.
Priya said, "The richer you are, the more than likely your guns are bigger. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight." Miss Mermaid said, "So organized, we love it." Ha, and then Priya said, "Ha ha, Nana, that's was yours." Fact. Okay, let me tell you another thing about my apartment I don't like. Okay, another thing I don't like is okay, my closet. So, wait, I'm getting confused.
You have to get on Poshmark, selling stuff, giving stuff to Goodwill, go to Plato's Closet. I keep a very tight knit closet. Everything in my closet I wear. So if I'm over it, I sell it.
This to go to my balcony, but look, what I had to do was get this on Amazon. I don't have windows, another thing that bothers me, but I had to get this on Amazon. So I'm able to open it when I cook, because African food, let's be real, that thing stinks. So when you're cooking, you don't have ventilation. Like my apartment smells like food. I've been telling Ngozi this, but like I learned the hard way. I don't want to walk around smelling like food. So what I had to do, if I didn't have this net, this is just open. It's my only window.
Same thing. I keep, me, I don't even care. I just open it.
I just open it and bugs don't come in.
Let me show you. I'm gonna walk.
So when I want to open the door now, I can open it and not have to worry about bugs.
My windows are the same issue. I don't have a net. I don't have a net. I open it anyway, but I crack it. I make sure I'm here watching it, but bugs can come in. So I want to invest in it. But y'all, this is my balcony. Oh, I have something drying now. This is the view of Houston. And yeah, let me sit down.
Yes, Priya, you playing. Take it to donate it or sell it, because that's like, it makes you want to. Also, what you have. Not like when it's time to go out, you're like, oh, I have nothing to wear, but then you have a full closet. It doesn't make sense. He said, I'm a hoarder in my closet. Many people are. Miss Mermaid said, I just have to love the bathroom. That's true.
Yes.
That's my deal breaker. Kitchen, but at some point I had to let that go and find a place.
Miss Mermaid, look at my apartment tour. I'm gonna put the link in here. My bathroom that definitely was like a big thing for me. Like the updated. I didn't care for a tub because I don't take bathtub. I don't take baths. I take showers. Like the updated style of the bathrooms. The double sinks is almost like a standard at this point.
Mine doesn't have a double sink, but the new ones they're building in my building have a double
sink. They do. Like at this point, anything that's recently built, like that double, what they have a term they use for, is it husband and something? The term they use for those double things. Yes, like I said, everything. And trust me, Priya,
they have to accommodate all the New Yorkers.
And the prices it's like almost, it's not like New York, let's be real. It's significantly cheaper, but for the native Houstonian, it's very expensive. is the transplants who pay more on average for this thing, because you coming from California. When you get a one bedroom, you can get it for 2.5 upwards if you're in like LA or something. So if you see a one bedroom for 1,800, it's cheap for you, and you're
Right.
still making that California money. But for people here, depending on what you make, because the cost of living in the South is usually lower, you understand why for them it's expensive, and they're not the ones that these developers are looking
Finally
for.
letting me share it. Let me put
What?
I said finally on Instagram. I don't know why
Yeah,
I was doing that.
me too. Like I would have to shut down my phone and put it on 2 times. Okay, I'll look. Yeah, Miss Mermaid, look, his and her sinks. Yes, that's the term. His and her sinks. So it's almost like a standard in like newly built apartments. His and her sinks. It's
Really double. So Priya said double sink is a deal breaker. Maybe because I'm by myself, I don't care for having like to me that's definitely not a deal breaker. Like I don't care for having a double sink. Edwin said, "Yeah, if the bathroom not right, then it's so. What would make the bathroom not right? Especially the apartment is like newer. Like what would make it not right? That's my really question."
is
Priya
that
said,
up to date?
"That's true. I wish I was a traveler. What's true? Wish she was a traveler. Do you know what she's referring to?"
No.
What link is this for?
This is from my empty apartment tour, so you guys can see when I have to reference the bathroom and stuff. But yeah, like these developers are really targeting a certain audience, and I think they're really targeting transplants specifically from New York, New Jersey, and California. Because
Remote people who are going to get the same.
remote workers who are going to make the same money in Texas, even make more, because they're not paying state income tax anymore.
Mhm.
So they see, our personal experience, you see more of your money, and then it's still cheaper than where you're coming from. So I understand why sometimes the natives, like Houstonians or people that are native to these cities, they feel pushed out because they are technically pushing them out because they're
They're
not
pushing
building.
them out. You're not making a rent in down south. They
Building
don't have regulations on what they can increase rent by. Jersey's not like that. You can't just tell someone their rent is 1,200 today, then at 1,800 tomorrow. You can't. But down here, as far as I know, someone correct me if I'm wrong. There's no regulations. They can increase. All they have to do is give you 30 days. There's a 60-day notice. One of them. So Priya, I really love that you're on this live. So anyone who doesn't know, the girl I keep first referring to as Priya, we went to nursing school together in Jersey. Oh my gosh, Priya! I'm actually gonna be in Jersey next weekend. I wish you were still there. And I really like that she's in here because Florida is another really popular place. And I just want to know, like, what do you wish you knew about Florida before you moved to Florida? Because I know you came from Jersey City, you came from a very, northern New Jersey, close to New York, and and that's all of us, like me and Guzzy, that same experience. So when we're comparing our cities, we're moving to like major cities in the South. We're not moving to the outskirts. We're coming from kind of like the New York area, Jersey, and then we're moving to like the lively, what we say, areas of the South. So what do you wish that you knew before you moved? Edwin said, I don't know, just keep the bathroom updated. Miss Mermaid said, I just need a simple bathroom. I wanted a nice tub for the first time, just counter space. One sink is okay, it's just for me. Yeah, I'm okay. Automatic Uzo said, transplants have us in despair over these rent prices. Priya said, one of my nurses in Florida said her rent was increased by 500. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's ridiculous. How could you increase someone's rent by $500? You know, in a year, that's $6,000. Like, where do they do it? Like, it's insane. Like, basically, you're pushing them out. For you to increase people's rent exorbitantly like that, you're telling them to leave.
Yep.
You're doing it in a nice way. You're saying it. Yeah, you're saying it
without not saying it.
Yeah, Edwin said, yeah, the rental laws are way more lax than it would be in Jersey or the Northeast. Miss Mermaid said, yes, transplants don't even know we are being robbed.
Because the native people most likely won't pay that. Not to say they don't even have it, but they know what rent used to be. So they're like, yo, this is crazy. I'm not paying this. But us coming from where we're coming from, where things are usually more expensive, we feel like we're getting a deal. We feel like we're getting more for our money, usually more space and cheaper pricing.
So Priya said, I love Florida weather environment, but the stigma that Florida is so cheap is incorrect. My car insurance doubled, and the insurance company said it's because I live in a high tourist area. So you're more likely to experience theft or something. Is that what they mean? Like because you're in a high tourist area?
A lot of factors to use to determine risk, right? Because basically insurance is based on risk. So if they feel like your car is more likely to get stolen, like you mentioned, more likely to get all this stuff, then they increase. Yep. And it's crazy. Same thing I say Priya about Texas. People think I'm going to come to Texas and get a 1-bedroom luxury apartment for $1,000. You're joking yourself. You could come to Texas, right? Let me not speak to Texas because I'm speaking to Houston. Austin, Dallas, major cities. Trust me, you can get a one-bedroom apartment in 1,000, and even in Houston. So I can imagine you can go to Port Arthur or Lufkin or one of these Amarillo. I'm naming like random cities in Texas and definitely get that. But people are moving to the major parts. So when people think of the South, it's cheaper, but it's not cheap. It's not
Right. That's the distinction. It's
all the
cheaper,
time.
but it's not
It's
cheap.
not cheap. I can't open my mouth and say Houston is cheap. I can't.
So when I was with my friend yesterday, and he was talking about Houston, him and his 4 friends went to brunch. They spent $1,000. He didn't know what they got.
They watched it. They went to a brunch place with the menu with the cursive, like LaShonda said, with the right I'm
the
telling
streets.
you,
Houston.
Let me tell you why they spent that, because let me tell you about Houston. Going out is very expensive. Let me tell you
Well,
why.
that's why I go out. Charlotte is not like that. I was gonna say that's why y'all need to move to Charlotte.
Let me tell you
Charlotte.
why going out in Houston is expensive. Number one, you're gonna pay for parking almost anywhere you go, especially when you get close to the downtown. Parking is an issue. Then there's a section culture. So if you go into those brunches, all those boozy stuff, all those lit events, you need a section for guaranteed entry and seating. Oh, unless you want to wait like 4 hours. So usually those sections come with a deposit.
Houston, they be outside.
Those sections usually come with a deposit around $250, right? And then also have a minimum spend. Then have an automatic gratuity, 20%. So you look, I can believe
mention that they put 20% automatic gratuity.
Yes, I'm telling you, I live here. I know what I'm talking about. By the time if you spend $800, 20% is already 160, bringing you at 1,000. You add a bottle in there, you add some food. It's like my friend is planning something next weekend. I had to tell her, like, literally text her, okay, you're gonna have these events. This is cool, but which ones are you paying for? She's also planning like a weekend, and she's like planning this stuff, like maybe a party and also like these day stuff. I said you need to be very direct with people you're inviting. Let them know in advance, because American, like we're used to that splitting stuff, but some people have events and they invite people for their friendships, like Nigerian people, like you're the one paying for it because you're hosting people.
Right. That's
in America, we don't do stuff that way. So I had to even confirm with her because I need to know my budget for Memorial Day weekend. Then I told her, okay, so we about to be outside. You need to formulate this text, send to everyone, and make them send you deposit for each event they're coming to. Let them send you like a $50 deposit.
That's not like too much to me.
Listen, I'm telling you, because I know Houston, that's why I'm telling you this. We went to some Kiss. It's a popular restaurant, I believe it's black owned, but it's like caters to black people. My friend had a birthday dinner, 8 people, one person didn't show up. We had to still do a minimum spend of $75 each. It became like $90 each, and trust me, we ended up spending more than that each. So what I'm saying is that you don't want to go and book something expecting 10 people to come and 4 people come, and you still owe them that money. So what I'm saying is that whatever you're doing, I advise her. She says she agrees with me. She's going to do that. Make sure whoever's committed to coming, they send you, tell everyone, if you're coming, send me like a $50 deposit by such and such date. Simple. Don't go there, because I know how Houston is. It's going out.
Like they say, going out in Houston sounds like an extreme sport.
You see the thing, Justin. Let me tell you. Remember the thing I retweeted that Justin LeBoy had posted? He's gonna be in Houston Sunday at Playground. He is hilarious. Let me show you what he posted. Let me go to where he posted. I reposted it, and like people are like DMing me, like laughing, like this is true.
Hilarious. Why are you looking for that? Priya said, living in a community with an association is also ridiculous because we have so many regulations. What do you mean community with an association? I'm confused. You live like in a complex with different apartment, like you're talking about like a HOA. Like, what do you mean by that? Anna said, hello, twins. Looking beautiful as always. Thank you. Hi, Anna. Priya said, Geico said it was because we have so much accidents. People turning left from the right.
Driving in the stuff is crazy. I can speak for Houston. These people drive crazy. Let me see.
And, I also feel like everything and everywhere is expensive. We are all just picking the best of the worst. And when I feel like to really get the bang for your buck down south, you have to buy a house. That kind of makes sense.
I get it, but at the same time, property taxes are high here. That's people complain about that because for a lot of these states like Florida and Texas don't have income tax. People say they make up for it in property taxes, which I think is still reasonable compared to coming from up north. But for people here, property taxes are high. But I understand why people just go and buy. I definitely understand, especially because master plan communities are such a thing here. So, and that's also what affects the real estate market too. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday, that like people have the minds, like real estate is a little complicated here because why am I going to go and buy your old house for 300 something thousand? I could build a house.
Right.
So I just feel like in the market here I'm not used to like this master plan. Like I didn't grow up with people just building communities of houses. Like I'm used to you buying a house that's old. And if you want to fix it, you fix it. So I feel like the real estate market definitely is better. Even though people build more down here and they do all this, I feel like the real estate market up north is better. Like you can make more money off it. Yes. Because I feel as if
Okay, everything is new build down here.
yeah, everything is south. The land, Georgia, everything is new build, new build, new build, new build. Like if I buy a property and I want to sell it, even this new build in 5 years, they're gonna go and say I could get my own new build.
That's
Like,
true.
why are they gonna buy from me? Like, I feel like people don't keep that in mind. Of course, yes, if you feel like this is your forever home, you're gonna stay down south. It makes sense. But like when it comes to real estate, you have to think about these things. Like not just it's affordable to buy, but then think about when you want to sell, how
Right.
that impacts the market.
Gratuity 20%. Yeah, that's extra. I don't think they should ever be able to do
And
automatic.
we have more than 6 people. Let me add, I know this stuff. More than 6 people, they're gonna give it to you automatic. You can't fight it.
Yeah, Houston is popping for sure. Houston is nice. Everyone advertises it with the big houses, but Houston is going to be like Florida. It will get overpopulated and then become so overpriced.
Yep.
Does Houston have Walmart? How are the prices at
yeah.
Walmart? Walmart in Florida is the same price as Walmart in New Jersey. So Priya, how much is do you buy plantain? How much is plantain at Walmart?
Yeah, I can tell you the plantain price. I honestly don't go to Walmart often. I go to maybe every 6 months. I really am not a Walmart.
I started going often more because I realized some of the items like my yogurt, my silk yogurt, plantain, cream, like it's really reasonable at Walmart compared to other
places. In Jersey, I barely went to Walmart. It wasn't
New Jersey, I never went to Walmart.
Barely.
And yes, I think it's a lot to coordinate too. Plus, people flake and they don't pay. Yes,
exactly. If you're not paying for it, you got to make sure people are committed before you book anything and put your money down, and then start chasing people down.
You must be right though. Collect that deposit. I just feel like that's so much. Maybe that's why I don't plan stuff. I just feel like that's a lot.
Deposit. Let me tell you what Justin LeBoy said. You're a strong MF if you can deal with a girl from Houston. These bees never get drunk. They will beat your pockets down. I went to brunch, 4-day parties, a nightclub, a strip club, and she had the nerve to say, where we going next? B, nowhere. I ran out of money, respectfully. So like, it's just
Houston is crazy.
The lifestyle here, you going out is expensive. I'm telling you, going out is expensive. I feel bad for men, especially. Like going out here is not a joke. If you don't have money, stay at home, watch Netflix, order DoorDash, have fun, enjoy yourself. Because once you step out, it's just like spend.
HOA Priya's talking about, okay, Florida has major construction, a lot of townhomes and condos going up. Plantain prices vary. Some are $2 for $1, $4 for. I'm talking about at Walmart. Mine is $2 for $1.
Yes, Walmart.
In Jersey, you go to Spanish spots for the plantains. He said, Priya said, and off season is by the pound. Interesting. And I said, LOL, people don't know when to go home. These girls is outside. Petra said, hey, Gemma, hey.
Hi, Petra. Thanks for listening.
Priya said, that's insane. He ran out of money. Should have asked her where she is taking him. No, I really hear, I hear Houston, Atlanta girls are something different. And I just hear stories, and I'm just like, God, why did you send me to Charlotte? Why am I not in Houston, Atlanta? Because these girls, they're doing something I'm not doing right, apparently. Because just like when I hear the stories about what they do and their expectations, I think so, the city girls culture, all this, get the money, F him. Like, I feel like when I hear this stuff, I'm just like, that's not the average girl. You get what I'm saying? That's not the average
girl outside. That's what
in cities. In certain cities, that's the average girl.
Cities,
right? I don't think the average girl is moving like that. And when I hear, especially about Houston, Atlanta, when I hear guys talk about the girls there, it's never anything good. It's like, yeah, these girls are out of control.
And it's also can be a little ratchet. I'm not gonna lie. Let me tell you, I was at the Address. It's a popular spot in Houston. Last Friday, my friend was like, after we went to dinner for our party, went to the Address, and these girls were on the floor twerking. It was crazy. And I'm just like, it was just a lot. And it kind of reminded me of Atlanta, because I feel like every major city has its things, right? Mm-hmm. Atlanta is known to be a little ratchet. And I could see the same with Houston too. I like Houston. I'm not gonna sit here and defend and say it can't get a little ratchet. It does, but depending on where you're going to. It depends on where you go to. It depends on the spots you choose to frequent. That's any major city.
I like what you said. That sounded classy. It depends on the spots you choose to frequent.
That's every major city. It can get a little ratchet. You know what I mean? But people's having a good time. People having fun. They outside. You don't want to judge people. Everyone is free to live their own life. But yeah, it can get a little.
Ms. Mermaid said, I just can't imagine paying this much in rent for much longer. Not in the South for what they're offering. One bad neighborhood can ruin it all. Then imagine if you buy a house. That can even be, because you buy a house and then the neighborhood goes down.
But I think it's a little different because most people don't buy, especially in the South, people don't buy houses in the city.
Right.
Most people that said by homeowners in Houston, their house is not in Houston. It's in Richmond. It's in Katy. It's in Cypress. It's in, the Woodland. It's like it's outside of Houston. So those neighborhoods are pretty secure for the most part and not going to just change overnight. They have some really good suburbs, to be honest. My thing, I have issues with the houses is that I don't like the suburbs. Like where I was living before leaving Houston, asked Nana, she's like, I feel like I'm in the middle of nowhere. And that was Houston. I wasn't in a suburb. So once you go into these suburbs in Houston, it's too suburban. Like it's too family and kids, white picket fence, lawnmower, America's Family on TV. Like I'm a single woman. I don't want to live in those neighborhoods. I don't
Mhm.
want to live with my neighbors who are mowing their lawn and their children are running in front of the house. I don't want that environment.
It's
Like that's not
boring.
my vibe. I want to walk out and see people. I want
Mhm.
to walk out and be able to go to the restaurant across the street. But I understand that that's not the life I'll be living forever, right?
Right,
At the
right.
point I'm going to go to the suburbs. But there's a reason why I chose to pay more and be where I am now. I know the sacrifice I made because where I was before, I was paying significantly less, but I did not like the area. It was too suburban. I did not like it. I felt like I was in South Jersey or something. Like I did not. I'm already from New Jersey. I'm closer to New York. Essex County, stand up, closer to Manhattan. Like I didn't come to the South to go live in a rural environment. Like, that's not what I came for, to live by myself. But I understand, like I said, rent prices are pushing people to buy, even if they don't want to, because rent is becoming so expensive. So if you have the means, because remember, you need to, there's other things involved with buying a house. But if you have the means and it's something that you want, I understand why people are feeling like, let me just buy.
For me, I'm not opposed to buying, but I'd rather buy something smaller to be closer to the city. I don't
Yes,
need a three. I don't need a 3 or 4 bedroom house as a
even
single person.
something smaller than in my neighborhood, I checked one bedroom condos
Yeah,
400.
that's extreme. That's extreme,
What
right?
I'm saying is that even in the high prime areas, the smaller is expensive.
Of
Not,
course.
there's a reason why buying for the most, especially in the South, for all these master plan is more affordable.
Right.
Condos are not cheap.
Right.
It's usually way cheaper to buy a house than to buy a condo or something like that. Condos are usually in high and prime areas.
Right.
Usually, and those up the areas that people want to be at, they're small, they're contains. Like a house is usually cheaper. So, there's a lot of factors. Lifestyle to me is a big factor. People have to be real about their lifestyle. I was talking to someone yesterday, like, I was like, you're probably one of those people that think renting is a waste of money, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, it is, and I'm like, it's annoying when people say that because I get where they're coming from, but I don't necessarily believe that renting is a waste of money because there's people rent for different reasons. Like I said, lifestyle is a big factor. I've
Mhm.
met people who have a big portfolio, they own so much real estate, but they still rent, and that's the point I make. I can decide tomorrow.
It's easier. You could be.
I can
You don't have
decide
the stress.
tomorrow to go buy 5 houses and still decide to rent because I know what I'm getting from renting. I know the convenience, the quality, the neighborhood I'm able to stay in that I may not be able to buy in. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I feel as if this narrative, even Dave Ramsey has some popular clips. He's a like no debt, nothing guy. So he even says a lot of people are house poor. A lot of people are
Right.
buying. He says renting can never be a waste of money. Quote Dave Ramsey. He said it. It can never be a
But
waste.
you have to live somewhere.
Especially if you don't believe in debt. Like he doesn't want you going to buy a house, a mortgage, all his debt. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it's like it's very conscious, but I know social media, that's the narrative. Oh, you're renting, you're wasting money. You can put it towards a house. Da, 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 da. And like I get that, but like we have to remember that lifestyle is a big. Some people don't care about living in the middle of nowhere, with they don't. That's not doesn't bother them. They're
Mhm.
fine with living in a quiet area where, like, for example, I was outside last week, and it was like far away. Everywhere we went was like within 5 to 10 minutes from me. And by the end of the week, the person's like, "Wow, like you really live in a good location."
Right.
Like,
That's
I can like everything
outside.
place I could have walked to, even like everything was like there. But if you're not someone who's outside, it don't matter if places are close to you. You're
Right.
not going
You're
to
not
them.
gonna go. Right.
It's important for people to really factor in lifestyle. Lifestyle is very important why people decide to live where they live. Some people don't mind driving an hour to be outside
And
because
it's not even about even lifestyle. So many factors. Like y'all know me. Anyone that knows me close knows Nana doesn't like stress. Anything that's gonna stress me. If stress is running here, wait. I got a point. If stress is going here, Nana's going there. I grew, and the reason why I feel like I've experienced because I grew up helping my mother run her house. My mother has rental property, and me and Ngozi grew up helping her manage it. So when I say these things, I'm not saying it as someone with no experience who just had, oh, I don't want, no, I don't have nothing against buying, but I just feel like, especially when you're buying old houses, especially new build, I don't know how that works because obviously it's new. So I think it would take a while before
You
things start
start
making
having to invest money in it. Yeah.
but right, but like especially these old houses, even like I just know like what goes into maintaining that house.
A lot of work. But I
It's
like honestly, I like multifamily. The issue in the South, you don't have a lot of it. Like I need to do a
uh,
lot of research, but I've been looking, like you can't really find if I want to buy something, it's multifamily. It's
mm,
multifamily. I even want triplex, whatever they call it. I want 3 levels. You here, you here, you here. All y'all paying me rent. Like I want at least even 2 family. But if I can get 3 family, I will run. I love multifamily, and it's something that I don't see down here a lot.
so Ms. Mermaid said a lot of those girls just repeating what they hear on the
City
internet.
girls, Glorilla, my girl Glorilla,
I
make
think
it.
a lot of girls, I don't knock them, even though, like, I'm in the middle of this conversation. I'm not city girls, but I'm not that naive, stupid girl anymore either. I think you can be in the middle because at the same time, I think a lot of girls are just tired of trying to do things the right way, do it for love, and you don't get anything in return.
Mhm.
So they want to feel like at least when my heart gets broken, I have the Chanel.
I have
At
to get.
least when he cheats on me, I think of my trip in Dubai. At
Mhm.
least when he hurts me, I think of the shopping sprees I went on. I
Mhm.
understand where the girls are coming from, but my issues is like I think some of it's the way you go about it. Like, don't feel entitled. Nobody owes you that.
Nobody owes you.
Guy
Even
doesn't
your
want to
mother
be
and father, you
cheating on
grown,
you.
they don't owe
Don't
you.
be calling him broke. Don't tell him he's not a real man. Don't try and curse him out. Just go to the next man that will. And
Right.
that's the thing I have with this mentality. Some girls are just too entitled. Like
It's,
nobody owes you
and
anything.
that's the fact. People want to always complain, but it's like we give example like designers. I just read this article in Robinhood, y'all. Dupes are becoming very big. Last year, I believe
That.
24% of people bought more dupes than they did like 10 years ago. It's
Mhm.
becoming like a big mark, even not necessarily fakes, but like, like Zara will knock off a style of like Balenciaga, like
Mhm.
stuff that's like a dupe. It's not necessarily buying like fake.
Right.
Let me tell you right now, what's the phrase that value doesn't beg?
Value doesn't
Despite,
beg. Let's type that in. Let's type that in the
despite,
chat.
despite all the
Value.
your designers have went up significantly from last year. They're still selling more. People are buying it even more. So that it comes down to who is your market.
Thank
You
you.
cannot be worried about being for everyone. Everything is not for everyone.
Fact.
Chanel, I was being ambitious. I went on Chanel website a couple of days ago. Now you can't see prices online. You can't even order online. They know their customers. They know who they're marketing for. Chanel is not making it for the average person. That's not their clientele.
Right. You better
If you
put
decide to buy it, that's fine. But I won't say tomorrow. Chanel has been going up significantly. Bottega, they have been going up significantly in the last 2 years. I won't say tomorrow, oh, Chanel, you guys are ripping people off. Oh my God, you guys are going up too much. I don't have to go there. I'm
right.
not the target. The target audience, despite all that, is still buying it because they
Right.
see the value in it. So I
Because
think
listen, because it's like dating. These girls wouldn't be asking for things they're not getting.
they're getting it.
They're
That's why
asking
they're.
let me tell you about a story. This guy told. I don't. Today, I don't. We're going off tangent, but you don't know. We just love talking about everything, right? So we'll get back to real estate. But this guy I met recently is from Atlanta. When he talks about Atlanta girls, you'd be like, God, I'm your daughter. Why haven't you given these things to me? Am I not your daughter that worships you, that praises you, that go to church, that reads the Bible? You'd be thinking like, what am I doing wrong? But sometimes it's your environment. When you're in an environment around people that wear Chanel, you won't think Chanel's a big deal. When
Mhm.
you're around people that spend 10K on a bag, you won't think 10K is a big deal because that's the people around you. That's normal for them.
That's
He
what they
said
value.
one of his friends met a girl by Friday. By Monday, went and bought her Mercedes. Hey.
I don't. Hi.
Bought her a Mercedes. Granted, in a lot of these major cities, let's keep it real. The
They
reason why
doing
these
some
men are
funny
able to do
stuff.
this is
They
that
doing funny stuff. Met on Monday, Friday, bought Mercedes.
friend her on Friday, fell in love with her. By Monday, he bought her Mercedes. So right now, when that girl gets another guy coming to step to her and she says, "You gotta buy me a bag,"
She's not gonna think it's a big deal because she's gotten a Mercedes in 5 days.
She's got a Mercedes. So what is it a big deal for the extra to or even nowadays, you ask a guy for a date, he's saying you're a gold digger. A date? What is a date? So sometimes it's like things sound so weird to you because it's not your reality.
And that's why people read all these books. Self development is so important. I was watching some live earlier today. Mindset is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Your mindset, the way your world view. That's why, despite what travel, I've taken a break. I haven't been on a plane since January, y'all. I'm going to Jersey, and I'm excited. I haven't been on a plane for almost 6 months. Like I've taken a break. Things have been real. And plus, I'm paying this rent right now. But I'm like, people understand why traveling is so important. It's not to take pictures of Instagram and try and compete with people and show off that I'm going here and there. It's your mindset. When you see different things, you go to different countries, you see how different people are
But do
living.
you think someone has to travel to change their mindset?
No, but I think that it help. I think is a very easy way to do it. I don't think so. I don't. I would. I could say some. I think someone could have never left their place and still be very exposed, but they have to do a lot of work.
Out their way, right? Edwin said, if you're in the clubs heavy, the majority of the girls are city girls-esque. That's true. It depends on where you go. You complain about city girls, but every weekend you're in a club.
Right, in your section. Let me talk about even the club, because Edwin brought up club. These same guys are crying city girls. They will go to the club, pay valet $40, $60 to park their big cars right in the front of the club. So at the end of the club, the let out, everyone is seeing the guys go to their Lamborghini, go to their Maserati, go to their G-Wagon, go to their Range Rover. And then these same men tomorrow will cry women. I just feel like sometimes men, they don't make, like, what someone had told me there's men who have money, I guess, don't care. Like, you know what you're doing. You could park across the street, no girl will know the car you're driving, and you can go meet a girl and see if she's gonna like you for you.
It's like, I know right now, I know what to wear that 10 guys are gonna come to me versus one.
Yeah.
I know what to wear. I know if I want to get attention, I know what to do. So it's the same concept. Like, these guys are not
about these girls being gold diggers, but you're showing her all the gold. You're making it so obvious. Like, if you're, you know what I mean? But I definitely understand that one.
Just that you're a city girl. I'm done. What am I supposed to say? I would never ever buy a house within the loop. Pearl and Sugarland friends with for me, please.
Yeah, you're a native too, and I noticed too. A lot of natives, they're more willing to because y'all are from here. But for me, coming from up north, like I can't live in those neighborhoods. At least by myself. Like I can't even apartment. I can't live there.
It's too far for you.
It's too far for me.
Houston is so big, everything's so far away.
Yeah, too far for me.
If you don't want to have to maintain your property yourself, owning a house isn't necessarily worth it. I agree with that. Because I've seen what my mother's doing, I just feel like, I know you're making money, but it's just too much for me. It's too much. Like, I can't do all that.
Jersey, when y'all have 4 seasons, at least us down here, we don't have 4 seasons, right? But like up north, you have to worry about snow, then raking leaves, then mowing the lawn, then doing this. But I think we have that advantage being down south that we don't have to worry about like the cold.
Ms. Murmur says it's not a waste of money for renting. Paying for a home, you have so many expenses we don't deal with: plumbing, weather, damage, unexpected. Yeah, there's pros and cons to both. Priya says sometimes the more houses you have, the more headache you have. And Priya knows this because Priya used to have like 10 houses. How many houses you have, Priya, now? So she's as a home. Priya,
at some point when you have so many, you probably have someone managing them. So that's when it becomes even easier, right? Versus you have 1 or 2, it's like you're not making enough to go and get a manager. Edwin said renting isn't a waste at all. I had to argue with someone on Instagram, Edwin.
Priya just made a point, and tenants are a pain in the ass.
Woo! Getting good tenants, especially in this economy after COVID, when some of them even related to me, stop paying rent. Everyone's eyes are open now after COVID, when these laws and these tenants want to start acting crazy. But let me tell you, Edwin, why you said renting is not a waste of money. And on Instagram, someone had tried to make some comments. I told you how Dave Ramsey made that comment, and I just feel like it's almost like elitist in classes when people say rent is a waste of money, because you're forgetting the population of people who cannot afford to buy.
Right.
Who are not in a position, don't have the credit to buy. So in the interim, while they wait to get their house, should they live on the street? Or should they live in the church basement?
Or maybe you want them to buy a house, put no money down, and have a mortgage of $4,000 a month.
To me, it's like in the interim, before most people buy, you usually have rented. For the most part, you have to, and people forget that renting is a great way, especially if you have affordable rent. Now with these rent prices, like I said, I understand why people are pushing to home ownership. A lot of renters have a lot of disposable income, especially if they're splitting with a partner. Let me tell you that for free. People are renting and they're buying Range Rovers. They didn't pay rent for 2 years. I'm not naming names, but like there's a reason why they're able to do that. They own the house with all their bills and their mortgage and the taxes. They can't move like that. You can't own a house and say you're not paying for 2 years, or you're not going to have that house. It's going to be back at the bank. So it's just about affordable housing. And I think that these developers need to really focus more. Not everything is luxury.
I wish they would just build regular new buildings.
Average people build nice the basics. It doesn't have to be too fancy. You don't have to go show me some crazy pool and some. Just build affordable housing.
I don't need a gym. I don't need a pool. I don't need
build affordable housing. Everything is not. I feel like everything now is luxury.
By force, you're forced to.
It's like if you want something new, it has to be luxury, but it doesn't have to be luxury. It could be new and it could be average. Right. So I feel like the developers are just really pushing this luxury, and it's coming with an exorbitant price tag, and the average person can't afford it. What are we making to be paying $2,000 in rent a month? It's not fair. It's like the average person.
This said, multifamily was my go-to.
Hard.
Edwin said, an old house is nonstop work. I haven't stopped working for the last 4 years. I'm telling you, I can never buy an old house. Never.
Let me not say never. I could buy it.
If maybe I have a partner and he's gonna do all that.
And have to have a good handyman.
Yeah.
I've watched videos and people talk about, when you talk about real estate, and especially when you have fixed and updated, your handyman is your life. You get the wrong handyman, someone who's not reliable. I've seen that even with my mother. You get someone who's not reliable, someone who's overpriced, people who don't show up. It just messes up everything. You need to have an affordable, reliable handyman and teams. But not even you don't even want just one person. You want someone that has like a team of people who are going to come and do things, be quick, be efficient, and also be affordable. So that's I think that I could buy something older as long as I have the right things in place.
Yeah, multifamily is a nice investment for you and your family, single families. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live in.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. I would want multifamily to be an investment.
For an investment,
I see City Girl. You know it. um, Value doesn't beg. Remember that, y'all. Value doesn't beg. You would never see LV go on sale.
you don't see commercials.
You don't see Chanel say, well, you know what? Nana said Chanel's too expensive. Let's do 10% off. They
Mhm.
don't care that I can't. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm just a nurse. I don't work overtime. I don't make six figures. I cannot afford Chanel.
Even with six figures, Chanel, the average person cannot afford.
Chanel is not gonna go on. Chanel doesn't have to beg me to see their value.
The people who see the value, they're buying it.
They're buying it.
Buying it.
Chanel is
Despite the increase last year, despite how many percent they've increased last year, people are still, but they're even buying it more. Because let me tell you also the fact, let me tell you this, we're going to end on this note, is that sometimes you think by doing less or being cheaper, more people will want you. But sometimes when you're more expensive or you're more exclusive, you weed out a lot of the fluff. So you have less. I don't know. You have less options.
Better options. Facts.
You have less options, but you have better options. I've learned that in my 30 years of life. That you think sometimes, oh, let me be for everything's not for everyone.
I don't want to be for everyone. I'm not for everyone.
I can't be for everyone. I'm not designed for that. I'm not for everyone. Like Barbara's scared. I'm not for everyone, but I'm expensive. Blah, blah, blah. You're not for everyone, but I'm telling you, people who see your value, you won't even have to talk. You won't have to say much. You'll be doing the advertisement will be doing it for itself. So for my girls out there, don't lose faith. Of course, don't be delusional and crazy and have crazy expectations. Because if you want to ask for a lot, you also have to be able to play the part. You have to be able to move a certain way, maybe compose, look a certain way. Dress like it's not easy. Trust me, city girl life is not easy.
Right.
My friend told me, someone has told me, city girl life is not easy.
Has told you, really?
Down there, city girl life is not easy. So also too, don't be sometimes caught up in this fantasy, like these girls are just getting all these things and
they're doing nothing and crossing their legs
a certain type of way to get these things. They're going through some hoops. You know what I mean? They're doing things that the average person may not want to do. They're investing time into their appearance that the average person money, into their
appearance. To the gym consistently. They're eating bread and pasta. They're eating salads.
Well, my one girl I watch on my South African YouTuber Melali.
Yeah, Ngozi says she's pickier than me. You think she's a pickier eater than me? Who? Malali.
She will no bread, no pasta. She's done keto before. She would do this. And you see her, she would look so good. Her stomach, but she gets fat dissolving injections. So she has a very high maintenance routine. It's a point I'm making to look the way she looks. It's not easy. It's not something you would say, oh, let me put small powder and walk around. She puts a lot of effort into her appearance. A lot. And
yes, a classy city girl, and I love that. Yes, her Chanel and Hermes both, and the value doesn't beg.
I just saw Priya Saint Hermes. I just saw this. They're going up like this. They just went up this month. The Oran everything just went up a percent. I even have to check. I don't have the Oran sandals, but I remember them being like 8 something. It's crazy how they're going up despite the economy we're in, and people are still buying it. I'm just like, what is going on? But I don't blame the companies because they have the supply and demand. If people keep buying it, why won't they go up and make more money if they can when they know
production may be costing more too? Miss Mercy, notice a good convo. Thank you. Quality over quantity. That's anyone that knows me close is one of my favorite quotes. Like that's what I say all the time. I'm about quality, not quantity. And Chanel, LV, and Hermes is an investment like Rolex.
Let me tell you, Priya, you brought up even Rolex. I stepped into the Patek Philippe store for the first time in my life on Wednesday. Sometimes in life you have to just do things. It's exposure, right? So we go in there with a friend, and they're like,
"What's wrong with your eye? You guys do that again with a friend?
I want to get this watch." I've seen Patek, but I've never entered. I'm not a window shop. I worked in retail over 6 years. I don't go into stores if I don't have money. I've never entered Chanel. I'm not buying Chanel. For me, I don't have nothing to do with Chanel. I've never been into Hermes. I'm not buying Hermes. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, let me just go because this person wants to go. They're like, number one, we only sell to residents because I guess they could tell that they weren't from here, and you have to order online. Everything is back ordered. They don't have nothing in store to sell. Like the watches are starting like a 40K. I'm just like, people are really living life, and they don't have any. The old watches are more expensive because people that have it and bought it back then can sell it now because there's none in the market and get more money off of it. So when Priya makes at that point, roll it is an investment because of the demand and people wanting it, and they don't make a lot of these pieces with certain styles, you're able to sell and even make more money.
My question, Priya, are you trying to say that not all, like, you don't, YSL's not an investment, Fendi's not an investment?
No, not all are
There's
investments.
too many of it?
No, I think it's the level that it's at and how it appreciates over time. Like, the big brands like Chanel, some LV styles, Hermes for sure. Like, I
It's
feel like
expensive bags.
because Hermes is Birkin, yeah, Birkin is Hermes, right?
I don't
And
know.
you see the Birkin bags, and like people say they have bags, they're selling it and making more money from like how many years, the Kelly, all those styles, they're making so much money off of them. Old bags, because now they're even more, like you said, they don't have them out and they only make a few pieces. So people are willing to pay more for pre-owned one.
Okay, Xavier, is the cost of living different or does it level out with NYC? NJ, where? I talk about Charlotte, Houston, or Florida because we've talked about 3 of those in this video. So please clarify before we end. We're ending in about 5 minutes. Wendy, has your quality of life gotten better since you moved to the South? 100%.
Yes. Woo!
100%. Yes. They joke around. My sister, my cousins, they be like, "Yeah, you're not gonna get Nana to leave Charlotte. I don't know what you're gonna do. She's not gonna leave." Like they'll make jokes like, "Yeah, Nana's never gonna leave." Like, and mind you, like I said, I don't think Charlotte's the best city in the world, but it works for me. For what I want and what I need in a city, Charlotte's perfect. Because Houston, Atlanta, I might get caught up. I'm not even gonna lie. I might be a city girl if I was there. I think Charlotte keeps me at a level ground, keeps me humbled. Is enough to do, but not too distracting. Things are close. I don't like driving. I don't have to. Going out is not an extreme sport. I don't pay for parking much. You get what I'm saying? Like I just feel like everything I need. Only thing I would say, like there's things like I personally wish I was close to the beach. I wish there was more Africans, like more Nigerians. I'm not gonna lie. I wish there was more Nigerian, like young Nigerians. I feel like we're lacking that. But overall, I have everything I need. Priya said, BRB, have a meeting to 10. I'll make it short. I'm at work. I'm done. I need your job. Some of them are not investments. I've gotten rid of some of my purses that are more affordable. Charlotte. Okay, so you say, is the cost of living different? Of course, it's definitely cheaper than New York and New Jersey. Cost of living different. Okay, so you're not talking about apartment prices. You're talking about cost of living overall. I think it really just depends on how much you're making. Like how much you're making when you leave New Jersey, New York, to how much you're going to make here. It depends on your industry, depends on your field. I think in many cases, it can end up just balancing out. It's just you're going to have better weather. You know what I mean? Or a different lifestyle, like just like different things. But like, I don't think it's necessarily always going to be cheap because cost of living here, unless you're like in finance and those, you make less here, even though things are cheaper, So it can kind of balance out. It just really depends on the field you're in. I think for people that are like in banking, I think they're the ones that really like see it because they're making good salaries. And like some of them is like comparable salaries to what they would make other places, especially if you're like anywhere where you could do remote work and your salary is not going to be based on where you live. I think that's
out of a home office.
Right. I think that's when you're going to see the most benefit moving to the South. But if not that, like healthcare here, there's a lot of jobs, but the pay is nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. I'm making the most amount I've ever made. So like, I think they're catching up and realizing they need to pay nurses more. They need to pay other people more because it's a shortage. So they're stepping it up. But I know how much new grads were making when I graduated 6 years ago. And sometimes when I see the salaries, I'm like, y'all trying to pay what new grads were making in Jersey 6 years ago. And the rent here is not crazy cheap. It's still pretty high. So I wouldn't say that I think it's possible that the cost of living could be the same as living in New Jersey, New York, depending on your field. I think it could be the same or similar. I really think it can, depending on your field of work. Yeah, you're welcome.
I think cost of living for the most part is going to still be cheaper.
But
like cheaper. You said, depending because even if you go live somewhere that's more expensive, grocery stores, even gas. I noticed when I moved to Houston, gas is about $1 cheaper per gallon. $1, like that's significant. $1 cheaper, like legit, like $1.
I don't know what gas is in Jersey. I feel like Charlotte's not cheap. Like
I said, for Houston, I've just filled up $2.99.
It's cheaper down south. The further you go down south, usually
it's cheaper for sure. Like the cost of living is lower. Of course, like we say, depending on where you choose to live, you can have a more expensive experience. If you choose to go live in River Oaks, the most expensive zip code in Houston, probably Texas, or like top in Texas, yeah, you're gonna be in an area you're gonna feel like maybe you're seeing New York, New Jersey prices. But overall, even a grocery store, things are cheaper for sure. It's not they've gone up in the last year, but it's definitely more affordable. But sure, we're gonna round up soon. We're gonna take a few more questions. Just
Don't
if you
forget super chat is available
like
if you.
this video, just that's number one, it's free. You don't have to pay. Just like this video. It helps with the algorithm. And if you're feeling compelled, you're enjoying the conversation, an hour or something, we've been here giving y'all gems. You can feel free Sunday, super chat us. Anything is welcome. We appreciate you all standing in here. It's not easy. The game is coming up soon. Y'all got places to be. But yeah, any more questions?
Mia said, trying to decide between NC and Texas when I finally move. When you have you ladies experienced tornadoes?
No, but like I said, Houston is known the rain, hurricane watches. I won't lie, we have that, but it's not like, I guess, severe ones, but it does rain a lot here. Flooding is a big thing. People get flooded. Make sure your insurance has flooders insurance. When it rains, highways start flooding, roads start flooding. So I won't lie and say it's not there, but I said there's certain areas, and based on like research, we're not supposed to have like another major storm or like hurricane like Harvey for another 100 years. So that was like the 100-year one, and it's supposed to be like another 100 years. To
How do you do research to know that?
there's a science behind like it happen. It comes through like every 100 years. So I wouldn't use that as a thing to stop me from moving to Houston per se. But like I said, I won't lie and say that Houston doesn't have those issues, because it does. It has a lot of flooding, a lot of rain, a lot of inconsistent weather. Like a lot of raining. It's big here. Yeah,
I had to decide between Texas and NC. For me, it was the pay and the state tax. Had to choose Texas.
yes, that's no
Aren't
state.
you from Texas though?
But
That
she wouldn't have to choose. Like, I'm guessing she said these were her major factors for why she chose to still come back to Texas. And I like that Texas is big, right? So like, there's so many. You don't have to come to Texas. Austin is really coming up. You have Dallas, even San Antonio. Like, there's so many there's so many places within Texas. So even for me to get to another part of Texas, I feel like I'm going to like another state. And there's parts of Texas that are 10-hour drive from Houston.
All right. So I want to ask for next Sunday, since Memorial Day weekend. Does this time still work? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard
Is live is not gonna work. Next Sunday we outside.
Time. So we're gonna do Monday. Are we gonna do Monday morning?
No, it's just gonna be a regular video. We have some content coming up. Just a regular video.
We'll start the next week.
Yeah,
New Jersey the next week, so we definitely need to go live. I just don't know.
That would be then, but this weekend, holiday weekend, is not gonna work. It is not going to work. So I have filmed a few videos about Houston. I'll have those up for you all.
Yeah, NC's pay is. I don't know what they're doing. They'll get it together eventually. But all right, thank you guys all so much for watching. We really, really appreciate 1 hour, 21 minutes. Wow, wow, wow. We talked about so many things. We need to add Florida to this title, like ask questions about Charlotte, Houston, and Florida.
Because Priya was representing
for Florida, and like Florida's another big, big state I hear a lot about. It's just she's the only person I know that's there. And my other friend I made at my remote job, she's in Florida, and she was telling me a lot of stuff about real estate and like people really struggling. So I was interested to get some insight about Florida. Thank you so much for.
Please like the video, share it. Thank you all for your insight, and we'll
be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, y'all. Bye.